They built a glass paradise way too high, then the bubble pop. The silent sound of foreclosure signs are all over town. I got a bad loan, a promise they believe. Now the dream is over, they're feeling deceived. I watch from the sidelines, patient and cool, playing by a different set of rules. All I wanna do is, I love when do is take the window. All I wanna do is, and I'll cash up hard and watch the funds grow. This is straight up capitalism, chick, chick, boom. Sweeping up the pieces with the concrete boom. When I do, when I do, when I do. Get a call from my contact, a whisper on the phone. Another empty unit, the speculator is gone. He says a shame with a crocodile tear as he sells me their future for a fraction of last year. The paperwork's easy, a cash only deal. That heartbreak and panic is my next big steal. They get a cardboard box, I get the ocean view. It's nothing personal, it's just what I do. And a casual body, take your condo. And a casual body, and watch the dance floor. This is straight up capitalism, chick, chick, boom. Sweeping up the pieces with the concrete broom. When I do wrong, when I do wrong, when I do. Some myself ask for a quick return. Some I rent out, let the lesson burn. They call it a crisis, I call it a sale. In this concrete jungle, the strongest prevail. No funny business, I am the business. They sold you a lead, now I'm the witness. Seek your condo. Watch the funds grow.
Happy Thursday, Miami. This is Condo Capitalism, a conversation about what's going on in the condo market from a capitalistic perspective. We're going to lay out to you some of the places you ought to be looking if you are an investor. We have been talking in the past about maybe some of the discounted deals. Now today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about maybe some of the opportunities on the new product side. Why? A lot of the market is it's suffering from way too much vintage. Vintage. These are the units that are more than 30 years old. These are the ones that have all of the special assessments, the high tariffs, not tariff, maintenance fees. I'm too busy talking about tariff because of Davos and what's going on right now over in Europe. But that being said, let me go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Peter Zalewski. I'm a condo consultant, expert witness, founder of the Miami Condo Investing Club. I am privileged enough today to have on the sales director, and I think I got the title right, and I'm going to ask him. Gentleman's name is Hal Feldman. He's over with Remax. He also, many of you might recognize him because he runs a program that is broadcast on the Miami Community News, and it is called Miami Hal. So that being said, let me go ahead and bring on Hal. Hal, how's it going today? Happy Thursday, my friend.
Well, going very well, my friend. You got most of that right. I am with Remax. That is when I'm doing my regular real estate business. And recently I was privileged to be able to join a wonderful project in Hollywood, Florida called Hollywood Moon. It is 48 residences. It is slated to be, groundbreaking is slated to be in the mid part of the summer. And then in the mid part of 2028, we'll be finished and ready to bring people here and have a wonderful life in Hollywood, Florida.
Now you know, hell, people are going to say, new, why the hell you building new? We got too much of the old stuff. But I think that's actually the answer. The answer is we got so much old product out there. People are afraid of it. They all remember what happened in June of 2021 when that tower went down, that Champlain Tower South over in Surfside. The world changed. It was the equivalent of Hurricane Andrew back in August of 1992 when the building codes changed and everything else changed. And there are buyers out there who want to buy, but they don't want to take a chance on the old stuff. So they're looking for new. And look at you. You're stepping right in that space and trying to provide an alternative product for them.
I believe that is exactly right. You and I have talked numerous times about vintage, and people are concerned about a number of things, safety being the primary one. And then, of course, when you've got condos that have been operating that long, a lot of times things get swept under the rug, and ultimately everybody's going to pay the piper. And it looks like the state is driving a lot of that, where the piper is being paid now. You can't kick the can down the road anymore. So as you said, maintenance fees are getting to be sky high, and it's just a mess. So I wasn't the one that did this, but a very insightful developer decided that there was a great piece of land. He needed to have it here in Hollywood. And what we're trying to do is blend in a new boutique, high-end product amongst what is really a really charming area of Hollywood. We are north of the Diplomat, and we're about 10 blocks north, and it gets a lot quieter. The beach is wonderful. We are literally on the block that starts the Broadwalk that runs north to the north of us. And we are situated literally on South Ocean Drive. So we're looking at a beautiful area of the Intercoastal, and we're also looking to the east, about a half block. You can put your toes in the sand. So it's a great place to be.
Hal, and for a point of reference for a lot of people, many of them might have heard of Margaritaville. Margaritaville is this big resort that was put up right there on the beach. It's right by a little amphitheater that they have. And the walkway in Hollywood. What's it called? It's called the the Broadwalk, right?
The Broadwalk. Yeah. I mean, it's just switch two letters. Instead of Boardwalk, it's Broadwalk. And yes, it starts with us, and about 5 blocks north is Margaritaville, what you're talking about.
Yeah, so that tends to be a focus point. That's an anchor. A lot of people go there for Margaritaville. They wander around, and they say, you know what, I like it, but maybe I don't necessarily like paying these hotel fees overnight. Maybe I buy my own place. Hell, if they were to do that, maybe they spend 6 months a year down here in your project. What are the rental possibilities? Can they rent it out in the meantime? Do you guys have any kind of program like that? Maybe they want to play Airbnb. I don't know the answer, so I'm just sort of throwing it out there. I hope I'm not putting you on the spot, but I know that's the question that everybody is thinking in their head right now.
Yes, if you're an investor, you absolutely can do that. The way the condo is going to be set up with an HOA is that you can rent out in 3-month increments. So if you wanted 3 months, the prime months where you wanted to be here down during the winter, you can do that. In the other 9 months, you can rent out to up to 3 different people. So yes, it is not your Airbnb, but you can do short-term rentals at 3 months or more.
3 months or more. And Hal, why don't you give us the website for anybody who maybe is watching, and while we're going to be discussing it, they may be able to check it out. And I'm going to ask you, if possible, to get up and walk around that sales center and let's kind of see what you got. So can you start with the website? Can you tell people what the website is so maybe they can tune in while they're watching it live? Maybe they can pull it up. Don't turn off the podcast. Simply open it up on your phone or something else. Where should they go, Hal?
We want a different tab. Keep the webcast going, right?
Yes.
The podcast could be on going. So it's HollywoodMoonResidences.com. And it's a wonderful site. And we'd love for you to take a look at that. Maybe look at it more after the webcast is done. And, you're bringing it up. Wonderful.
I figured I would just bring it up there for you, Hal, and people can get a glimpse. This is the video you have at the beginning when somebody first goes there. Hollywood Moon Residences, plural. Remember, ES.com. HollywoodMoonResidences.com. Yep, and there's the moon. Hal, as the video plays, you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. As I said, and it's highlighting right now, you got 48 units. It's actually one overall building, but there are 2 towers. So the first and second floors, the first one being the lobby and the garage, the second floor being all the amenities, including a wonderful pool. And then you have 2 towers that rise from that. From the 3rd to the 6th floor are all the private residences. The larger tower actually is toward the Intercoastal side. And then we have a smaller tower with larger units inside that face out toward the ocean. It's a wonderful design. And hopefully, as you go through the website here, we can see a larger picture. You know what I'm going to do? If you could turn that off.
Okay.
I'm going to get out of it and I'm going to show you the model. It might be a little shaky, but
there we go.
We are out of those windows. We're looking at the Intracoastal. And so our model is actually oriented in the exact direction of where it's going to be built and how it's going to be built. So if you look over here, you've got 3 units that are on that side of the larger tower that
Yes.
face out intercoastal. And then as we head this way, there is a break. And this is a code issue that the developer was able to solve. You needed a 50-foot distance between the 2 towers in order to get the number of density that they wanted for this project. And then a smaller tower over here that shows wonderfully toward the ocean. Now there is about a half a block from this corner in this direction toward our kitchen, but really toward the ocean. And that is a very short block out to the beginning of that broad walk. And then again, you get your toes in the sand very quickly. One of the things that I think is really important about this project is we understand people are coming here to enjoy the ocean and enjoy the sun. So there is a wonderful beach club that is included with ownership here. So nobody else is going to go there. You've got loungers, you've got day beds, you've got towel service, food and drink, all available right there at the beach, probably about 75 steps away from the building itself.
Interesting. Hal, can you give us some range in terms of the unit size? Are these, is this the Beast Cottage, or is this more so something a little bit more efficient? Is there a blend? Can you give people kind of a range in terms of what they might be able to consider if they, and I would tell everybody, listen, if you're in town or if you're coming to town, reach out to Hal. You can get him at miamihal.com, or you can go to that website, Hollywood Moon's Residences with an ES.com. But Hal, tell us about the range of the units.
You're doing a great job of selling for us. We appreciate you, Peter. It's 1 bedroom all the way up to 3 bedroom with a den. So we've got a big variety of sizes, starting at about 1,100 square feet, going up to as much as 2,200 plus square feet. And believe me, if you want something that's very efficient, we've got it. If you want something that's more posh and you can bring a very large family to and be comfortable, we have that as well.
Now, Hal, I was going to say, what about parking nowadays? Back in the day, you could self-park. Increasingly, developers are moving towards valet parking only. How do you guys blend out at the Moon Residences, Hollywood Moon Residences?
That's a great question. And I have to tell you, there are some competitors that are truly towers. We are not that. We are boutique. And we want every part of our project to feel like people are, they're not just a number. So with parking, there is no valet. Everybody has a spot assigned. They pull in just like they would to a single family home. They pull into their garage and pull into their spot. And they don't have to feel like they need to work with somebody just to get their car parked or to get it pulled from a spot. And we think that that is a really luxury feel, and makes people feel like, again, they're not a number. They are part of a residence that is very small.